Children, today let us learn the poem Nine Gold Medals. It is in your book, page number 37. Nine Gold Medals is written by David Roth. He is an American vocalist, a singer, and also a songwriter. And here in this poem, he is narrating many events, and the poem is focusing on specially or differently abled people. So differently abled people means the people who have some or other problem in their body parts. That means they are not people like normal moving people. So this poem is about differently abled people. Let us go through the poem and let me explain after reading the stanzas. The first stanza says, "The athletes had come from so many countries to run for the gold, for the silver and bronze, many weeks and months in training, all building up to the games." So the first stanza explains and describes about the people who are going to take part in the game. And this is about a special Olympics game. And here the athletes from many countries, so many countries from different parts of the world, they have come for what? To run. And for the gold, to run for the gold, for the silver and bronze. So they have come to take part in the competitions, races, and to win gold or silver or bronze in the games. They have come from different countries. And what type of preparation they had before they came over there. And they have prepared themselves many weeks and months in training. That means a year practice they had, many weeks and months in training, all building up to the games. So they were keeping themselves fit for the games, and they were practiced many times, and they were ready to run for the gold or silver for the bronze. So here in the first stanza, the poet describes about the preparation of the athletes who have come for the competition. And in the second stanza, all round the field, spectators were gathered, cheering on all the young women and men, that the final event of the day was approaching, the last race about to begin. So here in the second stanza, he is describing about the venue where the competition is going to take place. So he is giving a good image about the stadium or the field in which the people are going to take part in the race. So all round the field, that means the whole stadium, was gathered with spectators, packed. So the competition was known to the people all around the world. So many countries people have come. So the people who gathered there wanted to cheer up their own friends or dear ones, and so they have come and gathered there. So all the young women and men gathered there just to cheer up the people who are going to take part in the competition. Then the final event of the day was approaching. So this event which the poet is going to describe to us is the final event. What was the final event there? The last race about to begin. So the last event was race, running race. And the loudspeakers, now again the poet is describing about the preparation. First he explained, and in the second he explained the environment in which the competition is going to take place, and now about the participants who are taking part in that. The loudspeakers called out the names of the runners. This also shows the environment, how it was full of people, and the good arrangement, the loudspeakers everywhere, it is calling out the names, and it echoes like anything. So good atmosphere of a competition there. The 100 meters, the race to be run. So the last event which is going to take place is 100 meters race. And 9 young athletes stood there determined. So here how many participants are there in the 100 meter race? 9 people are there. And poised for the sound of the gun. So poised means in position. They are in position. So get, set, go. That position they are in, ready to run. So just they are eagerly waiting for the sound of the gun. Before they start their run, they should follow the sound of the gun. So they are waiting, eagerly waiting. The signal was given. So now the signal, what was the signal they were waiting for? The sound of the gun. So the pistol exploded. The sound of the gun exploded. Pistol exploded means the gun sound exploded. So they are started. And so did the runners on hearing the sound, but the youngest among them stumbled and staggered, and he fell on his knees to the ground. So one after the other, the event the poet is explaining and describing here. So we are also prepared to prepare. He has prepared our imagination to that. The position they were, and the gun sound exploded. Immediately everyone started running, and the youngest among the nine, the youngest one stumbled. He was, his feet hit something, and he stumbled and staggered, lost his balance. And he fell on his knees to the ground. He had a sharp cry. He shouted with a sharp cry, and he fell on his knees. He fell on the ground, and he started crying. He gave out a cry of frustration and anguish. So when he fell, he started shouting with a feeling of annoyance, irritated. He got irritated, he got annoyance. Why? He has prepared himself for the competition. He was aiming to get some or other medals, and all his aspiration, all his wishes are spoiled. His dreams and his efforts dashed in the dirt. All his dreams are broken. So he was so annoyed, and he was in distress and deep pain in his heart because of his fall. But as sure as I am standing here telling this story, now it is a strange one. So here the poet is continuing the story. He says that the story, as we all think that once the runner, any athlete falls, and the other will run fast and try to win the race. But here something happened which was not expected by anyone. So what happened there? the 8 other athletes stopped in their tracks. So when they heard the cry of the companion, so what they did, the other 8 athletes, they stopped on their track and they turned. The ones who had trained for so long to compete, everyone trained themselves to compete and win some or other medals. So they prepared their mind to win. But what they did, they put everything aside and they just stopped on the track. One by one, they turned round and came back to help him. Not only they stopped, they turned back and came towards that lad, that means the boy who fell on the ground, and lifted the lad to his feet as he was on his knees. He fell on his knees. They supported him and helped him to stand on his feet. Then all 9 runners joined hands and continued. None of them think of their own medals. All of them stopped, turned, came close to that boy and lifted him up, and then what did they do? All 9 runners joined together. They all of them joined their hands together and they started walking towards the end point. So the 100 meters reduced to walk. Now the race, the quick running race, turned into walk. So it is reduced to walk. And the banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been nearer the mark. So they have kept that Special Olympics because it is for differently abled people. It is not the common Olympic. It is a Special Olympics. That banner was put. So in the end point, they could not have been nearer the mark. So that is only not the Special Olympic is not only pointing out that was for the differently abled people. This is entirely a Special Olympics. So here the point in these last 2 stanzas, that's how the race ended with 9 gold medals. So these 2 stanzas, when the boy, the runner fell on his knees, how the other companions turned. So here the whole poem focusing on not only the race, what the poet wants to focus here, that you should understand. Human values of cooperation, how other 8 athletes cooperated with them, and real compassion. Not only compassion, empathy. Empathy is not simply sympathy. Sympathy is just to express our feeling that towards someone who are suffering. But empathy is taking part with the difficulties of someone who is going through. So here the difficulties of that runner, he could not reach the point and he was so annoyed and he was so depressed and he was in his deep pain, understanding that and concern towards that boy. They all came and took his pain with them also. That is called empathy. Not only they have just to show that this boy, poor fellow, he has fallen and he could not reach. Not that. Here the poet says that at present condition of the nations is not sympathy. Empathy is needed. So here the poet is focusing that. That's how the race ended. So the race ended with 9 gold medals. Each one who took part in the competition received a medal. They came to the finish line holding hands still. And the banner above are 9 smiling faces. Said more than these words ever will. Said more than these words ever will. Why the poet has repeated these 2 lines? To say that this poem, these lines and these Special Olympics tells us that it is needed. At present, we are in need of compassion and care, concern, cooperation, and here in the world needs is not more competitions. Competitions are not needed. That's what the poet wants to say. Here these other 8 were not compete. They stopped their competing. So long to compete, they prepared themselves, but they have put all that mind of competition beside and they came forward to help him out. So here the poet wants to say, the world needs at present is not more competition, but more cooperation and collaboration, concern, compassion. These are very much needed. So the main theme of the poem is not to give us information about something happened somewhere. And the poet wants to say that how human values of cooperation and compassion and empathy and fairness and concern is needed at present. So human is focusing on the human values. So this is the explanation of the poem, and go through the text again and again, pick up the words which are used in the poem and prepare yourself for the pre-board examination. Now the literature course is complete and the stories, poems,